Yes, guys, episode 10 of the Blue Balls podcast. Big up everybody that's locked in. Like, subscribe on your way into the video. As always, hit the bell notification button if you want to be the first to know whenever we release any new content. And yeah, for the first time in ages, we're coming to you guys after a victory. We finally got 3 points, guaranteed Premier League survival. The road to 40 points has now finally concluded. Be real, the performance was still utterly atrocious, but we will get into everything regarding the match and also the latest news surrounding Chelsea, all in this video. Let us know if you agree or disagree with anything down in the comment section below. Check out everyone's socials. Their names literally here on the bottom left, so check it out. And yeah, let's get into it. Alex, this is your first time on Blue Balls, bro. How you been, bro?
Mate, everyone else was doing such a good job, but unfortunately, few people couldn't turn up. So here I am. But it's so high in demand. There's got to be a reason for it. So yeah, good to be on. Finally, a win. We were just chatting with Ben as well. Ben, you don't want to go to Man City away. You don't want to go to these games.
Man, what are you doing, man?
We're on a winning run of form, Ben. What's going on, mate? You got to ride the wave while it's high. We're not going to get relegated. Life's good.
Yeah, it is. And I'll be there for the end of season party at Newcastle at home. I'll be there when we get our probably only other win against Forest. I'm sorry, I've already been to the Etihad twice this season. I don't really want to go there a third time and just watch Haaland absolutely insert a certain foreign object into a certain area of my body that I don't really want to talk about.
Worth it for the night out, though. It's worth it for the night out.
Oh, yeah. I'll take Haaland scoring 22 goals in one game just so I can enjoy the nightlife in Manchester.
Manchester's a good night out. Cheap drinks, hella bars, hella clubs.
I'll make you right there, but nah, I'm not going all the way up. I'm not driving all the way up to Manchester just to watch Chelsea get pummeled.
Would you do a coach, though?
Oh, he's thinking about
I think we got him. Nice.
Maybe a train.
Maybe a train. All right, cool. Well,
we'll see. We'll see
how that goes anyway. How are you doing, though, Ben? How's everything?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. Finally, survival is guaranteed. Even though it technically was anyway, but mate, honestly, it's just relief. The season's now officially done. All we're doing is just waiting for Arsenal to bottle the title, Spurs to bottle top four, Liverpool to bottle top four, and just sit there and be like,
three's already happened.
Yeah, just sit there and be like, well, we had a bad season and you won the same as us. You shit. That's about it.
Exactly. This season's about sabotage. Although I think the only thing we've sabotaged is ourselves. Fata, last but not least, what are you saying, my guy? How's everything?
Oh, good. Blessed week, man. And yeah, as for the weekend, it's a great turnout, as always. And I think this was a Frank Lampard's first ever managerial win against Bournemouth. So happy for him and happy to see the side back in a positive mood.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Actually, it is.
We beat them in 1920. Crap.
As well, just to go back as well, obviously with these season ticket renewals as well, the season being bad hasn't been entirely negative for us. We're probably saving a decent amount of money now on the season tickets because I think they were going to push it up 7.5%, 10% for each seat.
I was hearing that. I was thinking, you're really going to do that to us after this season? You man got enough bad PR. You can't do that. You can't. But I think they realized that as well. Thankfully.
Yeah. Apparently they got sent loads of letters from Chelsea organisation, fan organisations, and all that.
Yeah, I think the supporters trust really helped us a bit massively as well.
Big up the Chelsea.
I feel like that rise is inevitable, though. If that was potentially going to happen after the first season, it's probably just going to happen anyway.
Bro, we struggled to get the tickets as it is. Let's not.
I can't be bothered, Fran. I hold on to my season ticket for dear life. Big up the members. Big up to all you guys. But it's a struggle getting tickets.
Big up the season tickets. Thank God for season tickets.
Thank God. I was smart. I managed to get mine as soon as I switched from junior to adult.
Oh, mate. Thank God. I only have to worry about the VWR on away days now. Well, I've had to worry about VWR for ages. But yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, if I speak on VWR, if I speak. On the Bournemouth game, though, we beat the 007 allegations. Finally got a win. Didn't see one goal. We saw 3 goals. We have multiple goal of the month contenders, as opposed to last month where we literally just had one. And to be honest, Gallagher didn't even win it, and I'm glad because we're not taking a deflection. But Alex, I'm going to start off with you. How does it feel to finally win a game? And how did it feel in that away end as well? Because it was a vibe in that second half.
Oh, mate. I mean, you were vlogging right next to me. Like I've never it wasn't even the first or the second goal. It was the third goal. That was where it was like, this is real. We are actually going to win. Because even if you had a 1-goal cushion, like, you're probably going to bottle it, knowing us. But it was just a great away day, to be fair. Bournemouth away. Honestly, before I went there, I would have happily said it was the team out of any team in the league that I want to get relegated. Just because you can't get tickets for it. It's so difficult to get tickets.
It's a garden shed. That's why.
Well, yeah, literally. I mean, they haven't even got 15,000 seats. So, like, I'm looking at it as a Chelsea fan, and we're complaining about getting tickets ourselves. But imagine if you're a Bournemouth fan, and they must have more than 10,000. So, it's got to be a real pain to get tickets. But fair play. They've got a great atmosphere. They've got, like, 2 sections with noise, which is quite unusual. Like, they've got drums on both sides. It's a really nice crowd. It's a lovely view. Drinks are cheap. Food's cheap in the away end. It's one of the best. It's probably, now that Leicester are going to go down, I would say it's the best away day in the Prem. And I'm not even just saying that. We won.
I'm not there, bro. I can't lie. I want them to go down too. I'll be real.
Why?
It's horrific allocation. Like, we never, ever get them in good weather. It's always miserable. I've done Bournemouth on a night out. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. There's nothing. It wasn't special. It was one good spot, but like that's about it. Plus, again, the tickets is a nightmare trying to find them. I'm all right, I'm all right. At least they do dark.
So, what's your favorite away day then? Because I think most people would say it's Leicester, right? So, what's your best away day? Because Leicester are going down.
In terms of like travel, night out, and everything.
Southampton.
I haven't gone out in Southampton, but I hear that's easy to get to.
Southampton's really
Leicester. Newcastle's got a much better night out. Liverpool, those two are clear.
Forest. For like nights out.
Pre-match.
It's got to be Forest, really, isn't it?
Definitely Forest is up there.
I've heard Nottingham is crazy, but I haven't gone out there yet.
I can't wait for Coventry City next season if they go up.
Oh, mad. Yeah, you know what? I just picked my team to back for the playoffs. That's it.
Coventry, anyone that isn't Luton. Anyone that isn't Luton.
Not Luton. I don't even care about how close Luton is. I don't want Luton.
No, but
anyone
that's like another horrible away allocation as well.
Just like anyone but Luton.
It's more of a shithole than Bournemouth is. Did you do Luton away when we drew them last season?
Yeah, mate.
No, I wasn't that.
You have to go through someone's garden to get in, mate. You literally walk through someone's garden. Like, you could jump. They've got like a little staircase. You could just jump into someone's garden and get the watering hose or just sit on their chair. Like,
I'd be hella paranoid if I lived near there.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can't chill on match days.
No.
Oh, it's in Luton anyway, so to be fair.
Yeah.
What do you expect? It's the worst place in the UK.
I love how everyone universally agrees that Luton is a dump. Anywhere I go, whoever I listen to, nobody. Big up Shades. He's the only guy. He's the only guy.
Don't big up Shades.
Else
big him up, but don't big him up. But like, yeah.
Bit of both.
He's from Luton, so hold that.
But he's still our guy.
However, it's kind of sad that the one team I think every Chelsea fan wanted to come up are not coming up now. Big up Millwall away.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not in the playoffs.
No, they got a 3-1 lead.
They missed out. They
were 3-1 up at half time against Blackburn and lost 4-3.
Oh, another year without Millwall away. Oh,
well, they wanted to be a London club. They chose to be Spurs. There you go.
Yeah, London clubs wearing white kits and bottling. Imagine my shot.
They wear blue.
Oh, do they wear blue? I swear they wear white. Oh,
Millwall have a blue
shows how much fucking Millwall I watched then.
Blue top, white shorts.
But yeah, I wouldn't have known that for the life of me. Back to the Bournemouth game though, because we did switch off topic a little bit. Ben, I'll go to you. The performance on Saturday was great to see the win and everything. Do feel like we might need to go back to reality a little bit with the performance, unless you thought there was something in there that gives you confidence for the next few games. Because for me, I can't lie, I'm looking at that game, I'm thinking we're still getting cooked on Saturday.
What, by Forest?
Yeah, did you not see the way they were moving against Southampton? We didn't even beat them.
Yeah, Southampton. I know we didn't beat them.
They beaten us home and away, my friends.
Okay, but the only time they beat us when it's valid was probably when we had Tuchel, when we lost away to them with Tuchel. The game at home don't count. We had Graham Potter, for fuck's sake. You know?
That team should still be beating Saints.
Yeah,
absolutely. Bottom of the table, bro. Like, I don't know. I mean,
on paper, yeah, we should be beating most teams. On paper, we should be challenging for the title. On paper, we should be Champions League winners. You know, doesn't matter what it is on paper. You know, the team weren't playing under Potter. The team were losing almost every other game.
The team haven't been playing.
Exactly.
I can't lie. Even with the performance that we saw on Saturday, only Badiashile, Madueke, Sterling and Ziyech off the bench, if you want to give him credit for that. That's about it. It's the only thing that really stood out to me. Other
Felix
than that,
for scoring.
Yeah, Felix for scoring as well. But again, there's free off the bench.
Gallagher for scoring.
At the start, I thought Gallagher was the best of a bad bunch in midfield. I won't lie. I thought Bournemouth were cooking us in periods.
Well, there were. There were times when they were missing chances, and there were times when they could have put a fair few past us. Yeah, we kind of got out with we kind of escaped with one there, but we still, I would say, were the better team, and the right result went to the right team.
What did you feel was the positives from that performance then?
Just the fact that we were actually creating more chances. We were taking more chances. I mean, name me the last time this season we scored 3 goals. I think the only one I can think of is Milan.
Leicester, I think.
Leicester. Yeah, Leicester. Leicester away. Yeah. It's very rare we've scored that many goals in a game, and it was good to see us take the chances and actually, score when we need to. I mean, bearing in mind, last month, Conor Gallagher won a deflected goal against Brighton, which was goal of the month because it was the only goal scored that month.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happened I think January or February. I think it's February we did it again. We scored 2 goals in 2 months, and now we scored 3 in 1 game. Take what you can get and run with it, honestly.
I hear that, but my thing is I'm looking at that game and I'm thinking I'm still not that confident. Still not confident at all based off the way we play, because I hear what you're saying. I think they look better than us on the ball, and the only reason why we won is because they didn't take their chances. And if you don't take your chance against Chelsea, we may get something. If you take your chances, we're screwed.
It was like when we played Liverpool. Liverpool had chances, they didn't take them. We had chances, we didn't take them, and the game ended in a draw.
Literally, just that. Even the Leicester game where we scored 3 goals, Gallagher has to clear a chance off the line. Dewsbury Hall misses from 6 yards out. We do get away with it in certain periods.
Kepa made some big saves.
Yeah, Kepa made some decent saves in the second half as well, but they were piling pressure on us at certain points.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've seen because I was doing the Chelsea Fan TV podcast with Charlie, and I was looking at a lot of the comments like, "Oh, you're too negative. You need to have hope. You need to have belief, brother. We have 1 win in 7.
For what?
5 wins this year, 5 or 6, and you want me to jump to conclusions off 1 game against Bournemouth? Like, I'm happy to see us win. A tear nearly dropped from my eye when João Felix got that 3rd goal. I never thought I was going to see 3 goals in a game again for this season. But if you want me to use that and think we're going to win any of our games this season, I still don't think that. These players are still on the beach. Lampard is still capable of doing some stupidness.
Yeah, but I still think for Forest we can win that.
Forest than we do.
Yeah, but I still think we beat Forest. I think they're coming to the bridge. Yeah, I think they're coming to the bridge. We've got nothing to worry about now. We've got there's no worry about if we lose every single game, we're gonna go down. No, we've got 42 points. We can't go down mathematically. So we've got nothing to lose. We can just play for fun.
That's a nice way of saying we're on the beach.
And bearing in mind we've won against Bournemouth, the players now know what a win feels like. for a very long time. You know, they got the winning boost under them, and yeah, you know, I can see us winning, and then we've got 3 games for the rest of the season after that, which is the current top 3. And
yeah, that's going to be a bit of a sticky one. The last 3 games of the season, I've already said, you know what, it is what it is. I don't care what happens.
It's just vibes.
I want to see us win. I think the fact that Forest have a lot more to play for, and the fact that like we're still on the beach, we still didn't have a convincing performance on Saturday. I don't really know what to expect, but I don't feel any more optimistic based off that win. Fata, what are you feeling?
For me, against Bournemouth, my only concern, and then going to the Forest game, is more of a midfield, in my opinion. And I don't like to see Enzo playing as a more of a deeper role. I like him more of a playmaker role as a number 8. But especially against Bournemouth on Saturday, it's just like that equalizer goal should have been cleared out, in my opinion. And I just fear that, let's say if we get a new DM in, and whether it's Ugarte or Lavia, I would like to see Enzo more of an advanced role in that sense. So I don't have any, optimistic comes to the next season. I just want to get some, tactical coach coming in like Poch, because we've been sitting here for the last 5 days now since we had that victory, and then we haven't still got that news so far. Like, what are we?
You don't even care about the games. You're just waiting for Poch to get announced.
That's the thing.
I
just want that Poch when he comes in, and then he's literally looking at the team like, right, who do I want on the team? Who do I want to get rid of the team? And then what kind of setup I'm going to put with the lots of players that I'm going to have. So again, it's going to be interesting the next couple of weeks. Like, I'm keen to see whether Poch going to be at the bridge on Saturday, and then just to have a scout observation on how we play so far.
He should be there, to be fair.
I'm sure he's watching the games on the telly anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I feel like if he was going to be at games, he would have already been there by now.
Yeah.
Didn't see him at Arsenal. We're hearing the idea was that he would be in the stands by the Arsenal game. We didn't see him for Arsenal or Bournemouth. Maybe because it's a home game, you might see him at the bridge. But if you don't see him there, I wouldn't expect to see him until he gets announced. Whenever that day is, because that's
keep an eye on Todd Bodie's box.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye. Or someone will end up posting onto Twitter or something. It'll be easy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alex, what about you? Did the Bournemouth performance give you any more confidence for the Forest game coming up?
No. I think we can all agree that we're still not good enough. Like, we scored 1 goal with Gallagher. I mean, if you look at the defending from Bournemouth, that was poor. And then the 2 goals in the second half, it was quite a decent set piece, to be fair, for Badiashile. So, like, I'll give credit there. But again, like, if I was a Bournemouth fan, I'd be fuming with the defending, like, all round for all 3 goals. Like, and even we talk about Sterling as well. Does he deserve a start at Nottingham Forest? Absolutely not. It's been terrible this season. Like, I don't want to see him ahead of Mudryk at all. Like, Mudryk didn't have a good game, but he's been so much better than Sterling. Like, forget the fact that Sterling got an assist throughout the season. Mudryk is really, he's making more of a positive impact game by game than Sterling ever has. Don't get me wrong, when Tuchel was there, he played the team so that Sterling was in more goal scoring positions. But, Tuchel's gone. Like, and if there's someone I want to build this team around, it's a player who cost me 100 million, not a player who cost me 50 and has an extra 4 years on his contract or whatever it is. So look, Mudryk chose to be here over Arsenal. He's got the pace, he's got the skill, 100% got the desire. I think that's what people really love about him. All the videos in the gym. I don't see many players with that level of commitment, or at least showcasing it the way Mudryk does. He's proud to be at this level, and he's got a point to prove. So give him all of the games until the end of the season. Play him and Madueke every single game, regardless of GA, goals, assists, performances, because we did exactly the same thing with Havertz. We've done the same thing with Sterling. Like, why not give the opportunity to people who actually want to be here? And then that moves me on to another point, which is, I think we are all in agreement on this. Is Havertz has to go in the summer. I mean, look, I respect.
He's converted. He has
No.
converted. He is now in the Havertz out club. Welcome, Alex.
No,
welcome.
I was in the Havertz out club since we lost 1-0 to Man City at home. Lewis will tell you that. Yeah. I was.
I know. I could tell on fan cams, and you just there. Like you mentioned, every time I just mentioned Havertz on a fan cam, like before the 1-0 at City at home, you were like, "No, but you got to give him a chance. You got to give him." Ever since that game,
I'm glad you saw the light, my friend. I'm glad you saw the light.
Mate, I did give him a chance. I gave him a chance. I was in the generational minerals camp. I was all over that. And you know what? I said, this boy deserves time. Because I believe in time. I gave Potter more time than everyone else. Aston Villa was the final straw for Potter. But Havertz, I'm sorry, it's getting more and more depressing every single week. I don't care if you have a moment of brilliance. I really don't care. Give me plural. Like Lewis says, consistency every week. That's why you're at this club and not a club like Bournemouth, because you're meant to do it every week. That's the standard. And quite frankly, mate, listen, even the players who have played well, like Kepa has been one of our best players this season, not good enough. Like, he's a great number 2. I would keep him as a number 2, but we need a new goalkeeper
as well.
Like, look, Jordan Pickford had a good season at Sunderland, made loads of saves, got his move to Everton. He's nothing special. That's what Kepa's doing. He's saving shots in a team that's not very good. Of course, you're going to have more chances to save because we keep conceding chances. So, yeah, we need a better keeper. And we just need to score goals as well. I mean, it's going to make a world of difference because I can't see Kepa performing better in a team that plays well. Kepa's playing well in a team that's not playing well. So
Kepa's got attributes that he can't change that are going to constantly hold him back, aka his height and his ability to jump for those long shots. If we're talking about a team that wants to win the league, we're not doing it with Kepa. It is what it is. Like, what, if you're a bit taller, maybe it would have worked out. And I feel bad for him because of that. He can't really help it, but neither can we. Well, and we need that.
Now that you've mentioned it, we might as well move on to the topic of a certain player that we're linked with, if we're talking about Kepa.
Which one? Which one are we on?
Martinez.
Oh, Emi Martinez. Yes, that's actually a great point. I wasn't even going to bring that one up. But yeah, that came earlier today. Chelsea and Manchester United have confirmed their interest in Emiliano Martinez, who wants to leave Aston Villa. Be mad if he joins us. Leaving Villa. He's probably going to be in Europe to join us, who's out of Europe. But what would you guys say about Emi Martinez potentially joining Chelsea? Ben, I'll start with you, seeing as you wanted to go off on it.
Oh, I'll take him every single day of the week. He's a World Cup winning keeper. You've seen the saves he can pull off. He's class. I don't see any reason as to why you wouldn't want him at your club.
My only thing was I did see his save percentage before the end of the World Cup. It wasn't looking good for him. I know he's a great shot stopper and everything. I think he's got decent distribution as well. I don't know what it's been like since the World Cup, though. So I can't really speak too much on it. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Is he the level that we're looking for? I don't know. But I'm again at the point of if Vivell wants him, cool, take him. I don't really care too much. Alex, what are you feeling?
I don't think he'll. Is it actually official that he wants to leave?
Yeah.
Oh, he actually wants to
it's
leave.
what the article's saying. So I would just.
I can't imagine him actually wanting to leave. Especially.
I don't think Sky Sports would say he wants to go if he didn't want to go.
Sky Sports say all.
Was it Sky Sports?
I mean, yeah. Let's have a little.
That's what I got.
Hang on. Let me find it and I'll link it.
Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, I personally, I don't think that it's going to happen. I don't think he'll leave Villa at all. Yeah, I just can't see it from like an Aston Villa perspective. I mean, how long has he got on his contract as well? I mean, he's been there 2 years? 2 years, yeah. So he was probably signed on a 4-year deal or something like that. So they're
2027.
Oh,
So he's
mate, they're
got 4
definitely not
years.
going to get rid of him. I can't see it. Not unless there's big money. I mean, he's like 29, 30 anyway, isn't he? So he's not
Yeah,
exactly young.
Emery's building something there as well.
Right.
So it's like I don't know if they'll let him go so quickly because they could be going into Europe. They've got the chance to build on that as well. If they've got 4 years on him, they can just pin him there and just say, "You're not going anywhere." It
and
is
that
what
is
it is.
their right.
You know
That is
what?
their right.
If Villa get into the Europa League, I might actually have to back them just because of who their manager is.
Who, Emery?
Yeah, he's a specialist in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's going to be a Europa League team then.
Yeah, like if Villa get into
Going on
the
loan for European nights, I hear it.
no, not even that. I'm just going to bet on them. I'm just going to back them
Oh,
financially.
okay. Hear that? That's a smart move. Because Emery is a crazy cup manager. Even took that
Investing in
crap
stonks.
Arsenal side to the Europa League final.
And
yeah,
also he's the type of villain of a goalkeeper that we're crying out loud for this team, like a Courtois type of villain. So
yeah, he's got like Rudiger.
like
That's what he's like. He's like that Rudiger type of player, just in goal.
yeah,
An
I mean,
absolute pain for the opposition.
He'd be
I
good
don't
training
think-
for our players on penalties. Imagine having to train with him daily.
yeah.
I don't
Oh
think
my
Aston Villa want to get. I don't think Aston Villa want to get him that cheap. Just like you said, because right now they're like 1 point away from the Conference League.
Give them
A couple
Kepa.
point. Yeah.
Swap deal.
Swap.
Kepa and a
Swap
couple
deals.
100 million. No, 100 million. Kepa and a couple 10 million. You know, maybe Kepa and 20 million. Give us Martinez. You've got a nice cup keeper who's good at penalty saving, just like Martinez. And we have the World Cup Golden Glove winner.
But they won't pay the wages. I can't see them paying Kepa's wages. And I don't think Kepa would take a pay cut because he would have gone to Lazio otherwise.
Oh, yeah, of course he would. Go join Sarri.
Yeah,
Money's why no one else went in for him. We put him on some stupid wages, but hey, that's our own problem. That's the old regime. Can't look at Bowley or anybody for that one. Another
Plus,
player. Go on, Pato.
I would say as well, because you got Slonina in the club as well. Let's say if Kepa or Mendy leaves, like you're gonna make a way for Slonina, but do you think he's ready for that spot yet? And I don't think that he's that ready. That's why I feel like with the signing of Emiliano Martinez by the summer, it's kind of like give Slonina a bit of time to get ready for a bit more game time into the first team.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to see Slonina get some minutes, even with the last few games coming up. Can't be anything worse.
Plus, David Raya as well has been linked to Chelsea for a long time as well.
Yeah, he's been linked to David Raya, Diogo Costa, Andre Onana has been a recent name.
Mm-hmm. Martinez.
Anyone else? Yeah, Martinez too. I think that's it. I think that's all I can remember. But yeah, we are.
No, that Sevilla keeper for a bit. Bruno. That's it, Bruno. I've heard rumours of him.
And the Valencia one. The Valencia one. We've been
and AC Milan,
guys take
and
my nan.
If Leeds or Everton went down, would you take
absolutely
Menia? What's his name? Menia, the French
Menia.
Or would you take Pickford?
I'll take Pickford.
Melia's got some bozo gene in him. I always see mistakes.
I'll take
and he don't look physical either. I wouldn't. Pickford? No. That guy's
no. Here's what we do.
He's English Kepa.
No. What you do, how you play Pickford, right, is before the game, before he puts on his Chelsea shirt, you quickly stick an England shirt on him, and then you put the Chelsea shirt on. So he's got his England shirt on, which means he's just going to be an absolutely amazing keeper. No more arguments. That's how it's going to go.
I couldn't agree more.
Bro, I wouldn't take either of them. That's my personal thought.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We'll agree
Sorry, Jordan Pickford in a Chelsea shirt. No. Melia, maybe in a few years he'd be a good option. Maybe, because I know he's a young goalkeeper. But for now, too many mistakes in my eyes. What else do we have? There was this that keeps making the rounds over the last few weeks. And I feel like we have to look at this being more of a reality than a fear. Lukaku will return to Chelsea this summer. There is a real chance he could yet rebuild his career at Stamford Bridge. He's expected to hold talks with manager-in-waiting Pochettino and will also undergo pre-season training at Chelsea. Now, to me, my dream always has been and always will be Ivan Toney, Osimhen at a close second, maybe Vlahovic. But let's say we can't get any of them. Let's say Pochettino wants to try and get something out of Lukaku, and I actually feel like he could get a tune out of him as well. If he keeps him fit, if Lukaku is committed, because I know, here's the thing, I know he snaked us at Chelsea, but it was also mainly due to him falling out with Tuchel, and I can't lie, he wasn't wrong. He didn't fit Tuchel's style of play. It is what it is. Everything else he said was ratty, but I agree with what he said on that part as soon as it came out. He didn't fit our system. In a different system, if he's a bit fitter, if he's more switched on with a new manager, I know it's a lot of ifs, but if these things happen, what are we saying? Are we down for it? Are we down for Lukaku Part 3, the third chance?
Well, you know, if my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike.
No. Did you just say that quote from Good Morning Britain or whatever?
Yes, I did. If my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike. We're just saying loads of this. You know, if my aunt had bollocks, she'd be my uncle. You know, if I actually ate vegetables, I wouldn't be 50 million stone.
But like, let's look at the probabilities of it. I don't think we're going to get Toney because of the betting situation. Osimhen's going to be straight too expensive. Vlahovic depends if he wants to drop out of Europe or not. What other options do we have up top? And I believe Pochettino's system will get much more out of Lukaku as opposed to what we were doing for him when we was last here. And I think with that in mind, Lukaku would be more committed as a result. He lost his commitment because he didn't believe the system was helping him, and he felt like he was going to drop down as a result of it. I'm thinking if a lot of things could fall in the right place, and that's the case, he is our best striker.
Yeah. Well, he's our only striker. I mean, Fofana's nowhere to be seen.
Roa?
ACL,
we can't throw him straight into the number one off that.
You guys have to
obviously.
You guys have to think about the profiling of a number 9 player, because next summer it's becoming more interesting as well, because there's so many different profiles that is available, like Toney, Osimhen, and Lukaku. But these are 3 types of different players, and if you want to talk about the 4th player, possibly Harry Kane, because of his physical attribute. And if you want a more portrait of inside the box, you could say also the Vlahovic, Tammy Abraham, and there's one player from Portuguese team that I was scouting him for a while now, that is Gonçalo Ramos. And also
Tammy would be 70 mil, by the way, and no, we can't have Tammy back.
But if you want a false 9s, that is Nkunku.
I can't see Poch playing with a false 9, though. I can't see that. I think Poch is just going to go back to his roots. I think if there's one big player, if there's 2 like major things that could happen, is I do think that Poch would try Lukaku. I do think that he'd give him a chance if Lukaku wanted to give it another go. And I think that he'll we already know he wants Mount to stay. So I think they're like the big decisions that he's going to make off the get-go, which, to be fair, could be quite positive for us. I mean, I know there's mixed opinions on Mount, but maybe with a better manager, I mean, let's be honest, the management's been a disaster this year. That has to have some sort of an effect on the players. And then on top of that, with Lukaku just giving us a short-term boost, he's not exactly a club legend, is he? But if we can get 20 goals out of him, I'm not going to complain, but I'm certainly not.
He did 15 and he didn't care for half the season.
Is that Premier League goals, though?
No, all competitions.
Well, that doesn't mean
like
much
8 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get 15 in the Prem, then Hazard was getting 15 and Hazard was playing on the wing. So if you Lukaku, you've got to be getting 20 goals. Otherwise, there's nothing else, because he offers nothing.
I will say the system has to suit you better. He was right. Tuchel's system did not suit him at all.
Yeah, but I'm also in the camp of if you're a good player, you can adapt. Because at the end of the day, Tuchel's more proven than Romelu Lukaku.
You know what, though? You know what? Look, because Lukaku in his first interview said he was multi-dimensional as well. So fair enough.
That proves it. I mean, a lot of people say he's a cement booted fraud, which to be fair, I agree with, because he doesn't move. He just stands still, and everyone talks about him making all these runs. That's not enough, you know. If you're going to make a run, make a good run.
It's a bit of both. Like,
Yeah,
I agree. In the box, when you got the ball with the wing backs, brother just stands there. And it's like, you are easy as hell to mark. But when the ball's in midfield, I'd see him make crazy runs all the time. Jorginho, too many touches. Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Havertz. It was like a virus. They would all do it.
To be
so
fair,
it's a case of both.
Yeah, that trio with Kovacic, Jorginho, and Kane. That does
it's
not
just overtouch FC,
does it? Yeah.
Quick question, man.
Forwards.
What do we want? What kind of striker do we want at Chelsea?
One that scores.
Super physical condition.
Okay.
Running persistent, like Drogba and Costa.
Well, I think we always like strikers.
No, but Lukaku is that sort of guy. We tried to use him as a target, man. He's at his best when you have him running in behind, and he was doing that for us when he wanted to make transitions. When we'd make transitions from defense to attack, he'd make all those runs, but we'd be so slow with our attacks. So I swear, like last season, didn't we like never score a counter attack goal at any point?
Would you be happy with Harry Kane?
No, there was the Lukaku one for Villa. My bad.
Yeah, there's got to be more than that, surely.
Yeah.
Nah, we were not a counter attacking because we overplayed.
Would you be happy? Wait. You say that, but would you be happy with Harry Kane as well then? If
100%.
I'll take Kane.
Yes.
I'll take Kane. Would you be happy? Would you be happy with Haaland? Would you be happy with Mbappe? Would you be happy with Goretzka? Would you be happy with Eden Militao? It's yes, of course you would.
I would do some dark things to have Harry Kane at my football club.
Do you know how much Spurs fans' tears I'd be drinking if Harry Kane joined Chelsea?
That is like guaranteed 30 goals a season right there.
Well, actually, it depends on the service to him.
No. We've got better players as well. We just need one more window. That's it.
The point I was making is like when you look at Chelsea's striker history, we've had, little pace demons, with the old 99 pace FIFA card who haven't worked. We've had, the slow guys. It's actually been slow, tall, well-built, muscle men, basically, that have seen success at Chelsea. The guys that you can easily just lob a ball into and they'll get up above everyone else and header it in, or, they're running through on goal. Best believe if you're a defender and you're going to try and take him out, he's just going to use his strength to hold the ball and push you off the ball. The Drogbas, the aggressive types like Diego Costa. Olivier Giroud was our last good striker. Olivier Giroud was our last good striker at Chelsea.
If we're talking about physical front threes, like a Madueke, Mudryk, Lukaku front three, that shit is physical as hell, man.
That sort of thing is actually selling me on Lukaku right now. Just the fault with it.
And then you talk about overplaying Enzo Fernandez. And then you bring me a DM. Like, I see something cooking potentially if things fall in the right place with Lukaku.
Rice.
I think he's going Arsenal, my brother.
No, he's having Arsenal
as well.
Todd Bowley, be smart.
Yeah.
Blank check, West Ham United for ownership of Declan Rice. Now.
Apparently he's 120 mil, though.
I don't care. I'll pay it. He's worth it. I have seen so much hate thrown at Declan Rice's way. This man is probably as traditional as a CDM as you can get to CDM. Most interceptions in the league. Over, one of the first players and only players to get over 60 interceptions or something.
I can't lie. I see him more as box to box, though.
Yeah, it works. It can work. But he can.
I'd rather him as an 8, but like you look at the money. My whole thing is you can get Lavia, you can get Kone, 2 midfielders for the price of Rice and complete the midfield. Enzo, Lavia, Kone, I'm happy. Or Ugarte and Kone potentially if you want a DM. But like you can get 2 midfielders and complete your midfield for what Declan Rice would cost. And that's why I've never been interested. Because you're paying too much for one player.
The one thing I've been saying, all the time. So before it actually happened this season, for years I was saying Calvin Phillips does the same job for cheaper. Man City realised that, and they've now signed him. We could have got Calvin Phillips, who would have completed the midfield. I believe he has the potential, but then obviously I don't think City are going to sell Calvin. They're going to buy Calvin Phillips just to sell him the next season to Chelsea. So now you look at the more expensive option, which is Rice, who has done it on every stage possible, minus Champions League. Obviously, West Ham can't get there because they're shit.
Yeah.
He works. If you're going to tell me that this is the solution to all your problems and it's going to work for 120 million, and I had 120 million, I best believe you are getting that 120 million from me.
But I don't think it solves all of our problems, because I think Rice is more box to box than a sitter, and we need a sitter. Like, Rice can play there, but like that doesn't mean that's his position. His position is box to box. He's a brazy ball carrier. That's his thing. And fair play to his quality at that. But to me, like Lavia, if you said to me, Lavia, Rice, Enzo, you know why I hear it. I hear what you're saying to me. Or Ugarte, same thing as well. First thing is the DM for me. Declan Rice doesn't fit that category. But then if you're spending that much for a DM, like you're not going to spend 120 million for a box-to-box as well. You could get 2 for the price of 1, or even cheaper. Like, I hear the Rice thing. He's just too expensive. He's way too expensive.
Yeah, but mate, I know this is going to sound stupid, but realistically, like, these transfer fees are always going to inflate. The transfer fees are always going to inflate. When we were looking at, Carlo Ancelotti season with Chelsea, when we said 50 million for Torres, we were like, what? That's mad expensive, and this was 50 million pounds for Fernando Torres.
Yeah, but Torres was one of the best forwards in the world at that time.
Yeah, and people were questioning that price, and people were still questioning 50 million. We moved forward years after years after years, and now we're seeing like 30 odd million on Danny Drinkwater. We're seeing 60 odd million on Tanguy and Domblé. We're seeing, keepers moving for stupid amounts of money, like Kepa, 60, 70 million for a keeper. And you're telling me that with the inflation, 120 million is too much for Declan Rice. I'm sorry, I am not agreeing on that. Yeah, the prices are inflating. There's English tax. Of course, he's going to be expensive. Harry Maguire, just to remind you, was a 90 million defender.
Yeah.
If Harry Maguire is 80 million, Rice is 120 million. Easy.
But don't you think that Rice want to join Arsenal because they're playing Champions League football, though?
Well, yeah, that's always going to be enticing.
I think he's already gone to Arsenal. He's already had how many talks with Arteta? We haven't even dropped a bid on him in 6 transfer windows. But I think Rice to Arsenal is what we're going to see in the summer. Chelsea probably going.
They'll win the league if they get Rice. 100%. They'll win.
Nah, they won't.
I think because
I think they'll be a lot better.
Not having Partey has been the biggest issue this year. Rotating. And I know that Zinchenko's had a bit of a shocker over the past couple of games. But Rice, he brings it all together, and then they can rotate. It's just real squad depth that Arsenal are missing.
That's
so
it.
if they can get that, then they're toe to toe with Man City. And
I think there'll be a lot more experience with this title race too.
You think what?
Yeah, they will.
There'll be more experience with this title race. Like, this is their first time being around. They weren't going to be mentally prepared for it. But this season, with the depth as well, they might be a bit of a problem next season, as much as I hate to think about it. Moving on from that, though, because there was a couple of other targets that I wanted to go through as well. We've been linked with Mane. Chelsea been linked to Sadio Mane. Negotiations between Chelsea and Bayern are progressing very positively. Allegedly, Mane is excited about the possibility of returning to England, seen as a more realistic signing than the likes of Osimhen, and is capable of playing both at centre forward and on both flanks. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't turn my nose up at Mane because, look at what we have. Personally, he'd still come in and be one of our best forwards. But first thing to me is financials. I'm hearing 30 million potentially for him. If that's the case, fair enough. But he's on 250k a week. That's going to have to go down, because that's going to just nuke our wage structure. and you already see the problems that that's going to cause.
Well, you say raise structure. We don't have a structure. I mean, Koulibaly's on 350 grand a week or whatever it is. So
it's a 350.
I think he's on 300 or something like that. Yeah.
I've got to look at that now.
You know what? Maybe we're too far gone anyway. Maybe we are too far gone.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Mane to Chelsea?
295.
Anyway? 295.
Sterling.
Close enough.
But no, I mean, Mane walks into our team. So I could justify paying 250 grand a week. I mean, just stick him on a shorter contract. But, how old is he now? 30?
31.
31.
You stick him on a 3-year deal. You're not going to get a good resale price for him, but get 3 good years out of the guy. It's a great deal for him. It's a good deal for us because also he's a winner. He's an example in the dressing room, and players like him, regardless of what they do, is what they have done. He's won everything. He's won the Champions League, he's won the Premier League, all these trophies. That's the one thing that we're missing at the moment with our team, especially when Potter came in. We're thinking, right, how are we going to build this winning mentality with someone who's never won? But one of the best ways to do that is to bring in other players who know what it's like. And, we've got players like Kovacic. Looks like Aspilicueta might leave as well. A lot of people aren't happy with him. These are winners, and we're going to lose them. So you have to replace them with someone. And 30 million is a bargain in the modern
absolutely.
market.
I hear that.
Plus, as well, you need some mentor on the left-hand side. You need some mentor on the left-hand side as well for Mudryk.
I feel like we wanted Sterling to be that guy, but it's not worked out.
Sterling's a completely different player. Because Mudryk actually gets involved. Like, Sterling doesn't get stuck in at all, mate. Like, he just wants to get that. He has that one chance, gets that old assist. I mean, look at the Bournemouth game. Still nothing special. Yeah, it was a good assist. But I'm sorry, if we're going to see that and that only, like, even if we saw it every game, the rest of the, 89 other minutes in the match, you're doing nothing. You are literally doing nothing. And we need players who are going to carry the team. And that's what I liked about Mane. If you really look at it, when he was in that front three at Liverpool, he was the best out of all of them. Because although Salah got most of the goals, Mane was the one linking up the most.
You want that role model.
Unselfish. He was extremely unselfish. And work rate, phenomenal work rate. So he's a great addition if we could get him.
Yeah, I'll have to see how that continues to develop because it's the first time that we've been linked with him. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. One more name that we've been linked with. And this one's a big one if that's the case. But a string of Premier League clubs have been linked with him. Allegedly, Neymar is ready to leave PSG. The Premier League is being looked at as preferred destination. Fabrizio Romano said himself, keep an eye on Premier League clubs, and Chelsea and United are both interested. Now, we're talking about winning mentality and we're talking about big names. I don't think it gets much bigger than Neymar. Same age, even bigger wages. This brother's on 600k a week. So, yeah, we'll have to figure out how we get that one to work. But who is saying no to Neymar if Neymar is actually interested in joining Chelsea? Because I'm not.
I wanted him when he was at Santos, for Christ's sake, before he went to Barcelona. I would have took him before he joined Barcelona, I've been liking this guy since he was at Santos. You always deemed the next wonder kid, did very well. He's won the Champions League with Barca. He's won several titles in the Farmers League. Experienced player. The only thing I can think of is attitude. Is he a bit too much of a prima donna? That's the only thing.
I hear it. Imagine having Neymar and Lukaku in the same dressing room. That would be hilarious. They have to
Sadio Mane.
And Mane, that's all mad.
There's going to be another punch up.
You forgot one important thing to say. That is that he left PSG in an awful state of organization and disorganized and dysfunctional team like PSG. And at the moment, we've had kind of similar disjointed administrative structure. And I just think that the only option that I can see from him, I think from the market side of things, it's to go perfect. But I think at the moment where we are right now, the safest thing I think would go somewhere else apart from England. Plus, I'm just worried that if we're going to sign him, we shouldn't be paying more than 50 million, like at least probably about 45 million for Neymar, just because he's past his prime, and also he's an injury-prone player.
No, he only gets injured so he can celebrate his sister's birthday.
Yeah.
40 million for Neymar. What is his
Well,
contract?
to be fair, you can justify that. Shirt sales as well through the roof. I mean, easily be our number one shirt sales, easily, especially during the summer. I mean, obviously, if it dies down during the season.
2 years left in the summer.
How old
I
is he
can't
now?
lie,
30 on the dot?
You're paying more than 40 for Neymar.
How old is he? 30 on the dot?
31.
I'm not paying more than 40 million for a 31-year-old. He was injury prone.
Maybe it's just name value to me. I'd just be surprised if
and
it was
on
that.
top of that, like, we really don't know how he's going to respond in the Premier League. You know, he's been used to playing at such a poor level domestically. It's just not the same.
Players translate well from French to English league.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of those players aren't coming from PSG. You know, a lot of those players aren't coming where really the press is minimal. Every team sits back against you. You have 75% of possession. You play with Lionel Messi and Mbappe. You don't have to track back. You don't have to do anything because they're able to do that. And
I'm trying to think of players that came from PSG, like Zlatan. Like, he did well in that one season, despite being 37.
That's true. But Zlatan as well. Zlatan was a character. Like, we knew Zlatan had the personality and
David Luiz.
He's a physical player anyway. Neymar doesn't really strike me as a player who has that personality to want to challenge himself and quote unquote conquer a new league. Zlatan was going to do well from the get-go, whoever he played for.
Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's true. Thiago Silva played well.
I can't lie. To me, I think with Neymar, there's always been questions about his legacy. And you remember the whole narrative going around that this World Cup was the World Cup for him to build his legacy and to have his big moment. I think if he goes to the Premier League, there is his chance. I can't lie. I see him motivated. I think as soon as he walks into England, he becomes one of, if not the best forward in the country. Just like that.
And so how do you fit Neymar in? Because if you fit Neymar in, you're automatically isolating Modric and Sterling, because Neymar is going to start every week.
Sterling is what it is. Neymar, though, Modric, though, I hear you. But then it's like, what do you say no to Neymar?
And what do you offer him? What kind of pay bracket are you going to offer this guy? Because whatever he gets paid,
he'll want
then
500
other
million.
players get their contracts. You know, they're going to say, hang on a second, he's on 600 grand a week. I want some of that. Like, it spreads out. And then especially if he's not putting in the performances, and you've got players
maybe you need one of those Bowley special incentivized contracts.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be the best way around or something. But I think he'd still have a massive base wage in general.
Goal bonuses, let's go.
I don't know, like, because Mudryk, like, he's still one of those potential signings. Like, we want to see him break out within, like, next season or the season after. But I do think working with someone like Neymar could do magic for him. Same thing with Madueke too. And I think it benefits the squad immediately. It would propel us. It would help us propel higher up in the table. You get the right window with Pochettino, 1 game a week, and Neymar in the squad. You could be potentially looking at title contenders. Potentially.
Yeah, if Neymar balls out, for sure.
Especially with no European football.
That's the thing. Like, let's say 2 years of Neymar and it's a success and we win a fuck ton of trophies and you got Mudryk ready straight afterwards.
But if you're getting him for 40 million as well, there's going to be other clubs that are going to put in bids. So you have to compete with other teams that have European football and, you know, going to match what they pay and probably the wages as well. I mean, we've also got issues with the FFP. So how are we going to, you know, we're talking about all these transfers. How are we actually going to fork out 120 million?
Well, realistically, it's one of Mane or Neymar. And that's also another reason why Lukaku returning might end up happening anyway, because it's just a cheaper alternative. Don't buy a striker, utilize the one that we still have on our wages.
Yeah.
So, like, it would just be, let's say instead of you going for a striker, you go for Neymar instead, and then you got a DM and a goalkeeper that you're looking for, and then the rest is just all based on outgoings.
That is, I mean, if it goes well, fair enough. But if times are tough, then I just don't see Lukaku and Neymar as the players who are going to drag Chelsea forward. I can't see them as players who are going to roll their sleeves up. So that's what worries me. But I mean, we hear good things about Poch. His teams tend to have a great attitude, all the running stats, all that sort of stuff. If he can do that with those players, then that would be sound. But also as well, if Poch did come, would he even want Neymar? Because I know there was a lot of issues at PSG. So
he mostly had the problems with Messi than he did Neymar.
The problem with them is that you had Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, and none of them pressed, and it just killed the flow of their team. Now, although that's a fair point because you're going from that to Lukaku and Neymar, they both still don't press. You kind of have to go for one or the other in that case. So yeah, with that in mind,
so many
Neymar
superstars
isn't as likely.
But
because you can co-op, you can have one person that doesn't press, that's fine. As long as they contribute in terms of goals and assists, you work with that fine. Like Ronaldo at United, for example, they had the likes of Rooney, Tevez, Fletcher, all of them. They press together like dogs. And Ronaldo, he just does his thing and he just gets the goals and assists, and that's fine. You can do fine with one person who doesn't press. Two, that's a problem. That is a massive problem because then your entire press is fucked. There will always be an area for other teams to expose and play around because they're just not going to move. So it probably is just a case of one or the other.
Yeah, I mean this summer transfer window is going to define us because if we do end up getting Lukaku and Neymar playing for us in next season, I can see us turning into like the next Man United for another 10 years because that just does not scream. It screams that it's ambitious. You could say it's ambitious because they are good players on paper, but it's not smart. And you can't just be ambitious these days. You've got to be smart. It's not even about spending money. Sometimes it's just about spending smart. Imagine how bad we would be, right? We've got all this money because eventually it's going to run out. And clearly they're going to go, hang on a second. We need to actually start making some money now. And they cut back. They've been terrible when they've got the funds. How bad is that decision going to be when you only have 2 players that you're able to sign in a whole window and your budget is 70 million, something small? You know what I mean? For example, Liverpool, they signed, what's his name? Artur Melo from
Juventus.
Barcelona. What's his name?
Barcelona. Yeah, Arthur. Yes, Arthur.
Yeah. And he hasn't even played a minute for them. That is a massive blow for Liverpool. That's wages you don't need. And it's all because of poor recruitment. But majority of the time they get it right. If we make those decisions and we're not spending money, which I think will be the case in a couple of years, then, mate, I can't see us improving at all. These windows are going to define us for 5-10 years, let alone next season. So I'm more worried than anything, to be fair. I don't really look at it and be like, oh, wow, who are we going to sign next? It's like, right, what decisions can we actually get right? Because
it's got to be less opportunity signings and more like build just a team and build a system, and then you can start to look at maybe superstars like that. That does make more sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just to round out, because I know we spoke about our thoughts going into the Forest game earlier and the confidence levels and everything. What are you guys feeling? Do you guys feel like there could potentially be 2 wins on the bounce, or
potentially? I'm leaning towards the win. I am leaning towards the win.
Come on, mate. Love it. Bit of positivity.
What's your score prediction, Ben? What's your score prediction?
2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. All right, cool. No clean sheet though. Shame. I can't lie. I'll say 1-1. I'll say 1-1. I think we'll get a draw. Get lucky with a little something.
In October, that's the last time we had 2 victories on the bounce in the league, though.
No. Wasn't it March,
yeah.
Leeds and Leicester, isn't it? That little 3-game run on the Potter where we thought we were turning it around.
Yeah, when we beat Dortmund, sorry.
Dortmund, yeah.
It's 56 days already, but boy, it's been a long time at least.
Bro, just Forest petrify me, especially after the last time we played them. Remember what they did to us on the right-hand side in the second half?
Yep.
Rough. And we're going to play a back four again. Fatal, what's your score prediction, bro?
I'd say a 2-0 win, Chelsea, but it would be like a scrappy 2-0 win.
Fair enough. Hey, if we win 2-0, bro, talk about scenes. Alex, last but not least, what are you saying, man? What's your score prediction?
I think we're going to lose 3-2. I think we'll have a bit of confidence from the Bournemouth game, but Forest have got to stay up, man. They are gonna. They're gonna. This is life or death for them. So I just can't see them losing. Not to us. I mean, we've got nothing to play for. Like you said, players are on the beach. Fair play to Forest. Like, go out there and do your thing. But I can't see us having that same commitment that they're going to have, and that's going to be the difference for me, because we're both teams that struggle to finish chances, but the difference is they'll create a lot more than we will, I think, and once they get one, they'll keep pressing on, and once we get one, we'll sit back. So, I think it's going to be fine margins, but I'm not very confident for this one. But if we win, like, happy days.
Yeah, win or lose, no, whatever at this point. Like, we've got my 40 points. I'm signed out. But yeah, big up everybody that's locked in. It's been episode 10 of the Blue Balls podcast. If you agree or disagree with anything that we've said, let us know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, check out everyone's channels, everyone's socials. Names literally on the bottom left. And we will see you guys next week. Take care, and let's hope we see you guys after a win.